My name is Johnny from Cobra Kai. My name is Daniel from Miyagi-Do. And I do not believe in fighting. God damn it, man. Let's fight. I will defeat you and regain my honor. Fine, if we must fight, we must do peacefully. Da 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 da. Medic! Hello and welcome to my review of Season 3 of Cobra Kai. So to start with, I like the first two series, and actually I was surprised because I'm a big fan of the first three films and they do translate well into this series. One of the reasons that I think they've done quite well in Season 3 is because they still use that nostalgic factor, and what they do is they pick out little snippets of the film and they do flashbacks really well, and those snippets are expanded on in the series, and each episode does think about those in a different way. Now, what they also add to this is the new characters, and this is where I think the show's weakness lies, because although the new characters are interesting and the teens all play a really good role, it feels a little bit High School Musical-esque, and actually after a while you get a bit tiresome of that and it does drag a little. What does bring it back though is every so often there's some great cameos, and I won't reveal those cameos because I don't want to ruin the series for anybody. But what I will say is they are used very well. Now, the question is, how many cameos are you going to have? They can't obviously continue this on because you'll run out of people. And the big shame is we know that Miyagi, the most famous of them, passed away a while ago. So that's unfortunate because I think that would have elevated this into a really good series. The focus of the series itself is on the three main characters. So you've got Daniel, which everyone knows about, Daniel's son, the one famous one. Johnny, who was one of the main protagonists in the last series. And then you've got Johnny's ex-teacher, Reese. And you find out a little bit more about Reese. And I quite like that because you actually understand why he is who he is. And that's quite a smart way to keep this series fresh. You also realize that all three of these people are actually quite unstable. And that's something which makes you question, where's the law in this town? I mean, why is nobody doing anything about this now karate, which is basically become lawless and become, children beating up children and fights after fights? It's a little bit odd, and that's why it works in the films and it doesn't quite work here in the series. But that shouldn't detract from the fact that the series still flows well when it's not dragging. So one of the things I worry about a little bit is that they don't really focus on the teens or the characters in the schools. So once you take away from Johnny, Daniel and Reese, actually it starts to lose its freshness. And I worry with Season 4, where is it going to go? Because I can see you getting bored of it and what's going to happen next. And I feel like the producers are now at the point where they're trying to get to Series 5, where once you get to Series 5, what companies do, they are able to make money, and a lot of money, on reruns. So will that be the last series? Who knows? But I feel like that's the way it's time to go. There are some very strong points in this series, and actually a lot of it is based on the nostalgia aspect, as I've mentioned. However, there's some interesting fight scenes, and actually they're still very good, more so with the teens who are youthful than the older generation who you can see struggle a little bit. There are also some really interesting parts in the series and some interesting quirks that they've done, and I like the fact that the rivalry they're building isn't just two-dimensional, good versus bad. Now that there's these three main characters, there's a concept, a consideration of actually who really is good and who really is bad. So, overall, I would give this series an A, and that's a very high score. And the reason I think it's that good is because it improves on the first two series, and the nostalgia factor is still very strong here. Yes, there are a few weak points, but overall, it's quite a compelling watch, and you do crave to see what happens in Series 4. Anyway, I hope you liked my review. Please do give me a thumbs up and do subscribe, and any comments on what you thought of the series. And I will see you in my next review, which will be the George Clooney film, The Midnight Sky. Thank you, and talk soon.